What's going on, Wolfpack Nation? We are back for part 2, y'all, of our interview here with former NC State running back Andre Brown. And so, first of all, Wolfpack Nation, if you haven't checked out part 1 yet, you got to go do that first and foremost to talk about Andre's time through NC State. Got to check that out first and foremost to come right back here. But before we wrap up the college, the college life career for you, Andre, got to bring up 2 questions here from NC State fans that submitted some questions here for us. So the first question was, what was your favorite game during your time at NC State? And I think we might have maybe alluded to it, maybe that first Florida State game. But I mean, I think about your senior year at ECU, the overtime touchdown. That was pretty big. That was a pretty big highlight play. But I mean, what would you say?
See, I had a couple. Freshman year, I would say the Florida State game.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, we was down.
Yeah. Yeah. Sophomore was rough. Well, besides, I mean, you beat Florida State, and then
Florida State, and the Boston College game.
Yeah, the Hail Mary.
Yeah, that was the sophomore year, Boston College game, and then that following that Florida State game. The junior year, I don't have any, but senior year was definitely that ECU game.
Yeah, nice. You guys got that state championship in your senior year.
Right.
That's right.
Went to a bowl too.
Yeah.
So
went to one. Yeah.
Real quick, I kind of wanted, obviously you were there for the transition of Amato to O'Brien. Just kind of give me like a 30-second summary of the vastly difference of the two coaches. Like just the, you had Chuck Amato, who seemed to be loosey-goosey, and then you had O'Brien with the military background. Just talk to me about like how do you go from woohoo and then yeah.
I mean, you hit it the nail on the head. You went right to it. It was like we went from the rah-rah to the, coach that's wearing Dolce & Gabbana glasses on the sideline, like to that shine to, hey, you got to wear your black cleats. We're here this time. We're more militant and more, I wouldn't say the level of
the structure, probably
Yeah. The structure was a lot different, which was also good for me as a man. I would say that due to the fact that, accountability was a big thing and responsibility. Yep. And, I only had 2 more years left until I'm out on my own. I mean, got to fend on my own. So the fun and realizing of, not saying that Tom took away the fun from the game. No, not at all. The game is the game, and it was fun regardless of who was coaching me. But Coach Amato was definitely my motivation. Get under my skin, say something sly. Oh, you're going to let that running back come in here and run for more yards than you. And then I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to run through this brick wall. And then O'Brien would be like, before we run through this brick wall here,
yes,
let's do this let's have a strategy of making it less of a you busting through the wall. You see that? There's no stud right there. Let's run through the part where there's no stud. So I appreciated both of them. Both of them helped develop me into I hope some would say a great man. They both had their pluses. Some of them, they had their minuses that I didn't like, but it was the structure and it was the fun that kind of combined and made me really respect and love this university. So,
yeah, that's awesome. That sounds a lot better than I was expecting. So that's good. And then the last question here from fans here: do you still keep in touch with any of your former teammates during your playing years at State?
Bake. I just talked to Bake. I talked to Bake like last week. We was talking about our kids and stuff, about football, and these kids got it easy. And then we went on to how the running back is being devalued. So that's a whole nother story in the NFL.
Yes.
I talked to Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill is in Texas now. He was the tight end. He's a good friend. Jamel Eugene is still around here. We still talk to him when I see him. Those are probably the guys that I talk to and have communications with most.
That's awesome. All right, cool deal. And so now kind of jumping on over, I want to talk a little bit about NFL here before we kind of switch over because I definitely again want to talk about today's day and age and maybe talk a little bit of in-state running back history as well. So you got drafted in the fourth round, 129th overall pick to the New York Giants in 2009 draft. But it seems like you didn't really get you really didn't get going. It seems like until 2012. Would you kind of agree with that?
I would.
I know you're dealing with a lot of injuries and things like that too,
A
Yeah.
lot of
right?
bad luck.
Bad
Yeah.
luck, bad luck, bad injuries. Started in college with the foot, then my rookie year, my Achilles, and was just trying to catch on to the team. Everybody knew I had talent.
Yeah.
Never, it. When coaches look at me like, "Oh, that's a running back." That's like some of those, when I walked around the combine and did all that, it was like, "Yeah, you're going to be a stud." But the injuries, it was the thing that kept holding me back until I finally got on and finally started to I knew I was capable of if it wasn't for the injuries, who knows where the ceiling would have went.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I did have my moments, people can see it, and that's why most of the team. That's why the Giants brought me back. That's why you know some of the teams kept giving me that year that I was bouncing around. I had to go because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even back in the day I didn't know that if a team cut you, you still got to go through the waiver wire. Did not know anything about that, and I'll never forget. I got released because I had a from the Giants. My first time I got released that started the whole carousel was I had it was something going on with my toe. It was a turf toe, and they was like, okay, we got to release you because we need the roster spots. And then that next day, Denver called me, and I'm on a flight to Denver. From
Yeah.
Denver, I'm on a flight to Indianapolis while all my stuff is still being shipped to Denver. Like, and then from
Yeah.
Indianapolis, I ended up in Washington. And then that summer, my son was born. I'm in Raleigh. And he's at Rex Hospital.
Oh my
And
God.
I got released from the Redskins. And then I'll never forget it. His mom at the time was like, I said his mom at the time. His mom was his mom was sitting there like, I was like, the Giants want to bring me back. And we're in the room after I'm, doing all the skin to skin and stuff like that. She was like, well, I don't care. You need to go get that job. So go up there. I was like,
Yeah.
Just go make money. I don't care
go
how
get
you.
it. Yeah, I don't care how you do it. Go get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And, stick around there, did the practice squad for a year. We went on to win that Super Bowl that year.
Yes, sir.
I was, you know,
You were hot.
I was hot, came
Yeah.
in, then had a good game, then got hurt again halfway through that season because it was like a mud and then it was me. And
Yeah.
I was just sitting, they released Brandon because they seen that whole year, that practice year, it was strictly development because it was like, I was there, I was doing like, I knew that offense in and out and I could
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody
Nice.
where everybody was going and they were like, it clicked. It clicked and everybody
Yeah.
saw that. And, that's when they released Brandon and then Ahmad got released and then it was my show. Then I got hurt again. And then they drafted Dave. And it's just like, I
Dang.
couldn't
Yeah.
escape the injury bug.
Just couldn't get a rhythm, right? I
Right.
mean, yeah.
What?
My
Go ahead, Greg.
my question was kind of a fun question. Do you still know the words to "I Got a Ring"?
That's the song. That was it. I got a ring. He got one too. I got a ring. He got one too. I was so drunk when I made that song. No, it actually started right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But then when the drinks got involved that night after winning the Super Bowl and then the plane ride, I was hammered. 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 Man. It was like the night of the Super Bowl, it was hammered. I remember Katy Perry was there and she did our Super Bowl party. And I walked up to her like drunk as heck. And I was like, oh my gosh. Good
Oh man.
times. The times I
Yeah.
do remember. It was good times.
Well, and that was a pretty particular great Super Bowl to be a part of, as you know, it's
Was.
always going to be remembered as one of the Tom Brady kryptonite years
Yep.
when the Giants beat the Patriots. Even though it wasn't the kryptonite game, it was still a kryptonite game for sure.
Right.
And you know, so I mean, so first of all, I mean, where do you have that ring at? Yeah, you have it up in a case somewhere in your
It
office, or
is. The ring is somewhere around here. I have it somewhere around here. It's
all
like
right?
upstairs sitting in the thing. You want me to get it or something?
No, 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 no.
No,
Okay,
you're
I was
good.
about
No,
to
no.
say.
I just want to make sure you have it in a nice place, man. I'm sure it's a
It's
beauty.
here.
All
It's
right,
here.
good. Yeah, because I mean, hey, I guarantee you that if it ever came on hard times, which I mean, praying to God that never does happen, but if it ever did, that ring would go for a pretty penny, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's a
that's
game
not.
that
that's pretty
it's a game that beat Tom Brady. I mean, that didn't
Yeah.
happen very often. So,
Right. Yeah.
exactly.
That ring
so,
isn't. Yeah. That ain't going nowhere.
so,
Not good. Good.
I'm kind of curious, like, because you were kind of there as the Vaughn Towers now. What is it? What is it now called?
It's a bank, right?
It's a bank.
Town Center Bank.
Town Center Bank,
Bank.
whatever we're
Oh,
calling it
yeah.
this week. You were kind of there as it was being installed, and then kind of now going back to games. Like, how much different is Carter Finley now from your playing days and then being a fan, and then what is it like vice versa, having been a player there and now being a fan?
All right. So,
There's a lot there to unpack.
yeah. Let's start from the Carter in itself. Okay. So
Yeah.
the field, okay, the field has gone completely crazy because my day, my day, it had like a hill in the middle of the field.
You,
It was like a little hill, but it was good when you was running. Like if I was running the trap, that mean I was running downhill. I always like running to the Murphy because I felt faster because I was kind of running downhill at an angle. But now that's completely flat. It's awesome. The the lights are crazy now. Didn't they just install those new lights where
yeah,
they go
last year.
red
They
last
did.
year? That's ridiculous. Vaughn
Yeah.
Tower's ridiculous. The atmosphere is so. It was still a good atmosphere when we were rocking, when we were winning, when we had
Mhm.
people in the stands. It was great. But overall, like the cleanness of it is just, I'd just be like, dang, I wish I had this. And the
Yeah.
different uniforms. It's just like so much going on there that it's just like, I just can't do nothing but just reminisce and just like, oh, I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
I miss it.
Kind of you know, switching gears you know, here a little bit, talking about today's day and age, because I mean, you definitely alluded to, man, like, you know, talking about today's day and age. And I mean, like imagine, Andre, in a world where, you know, like, you know, out of high school you're getting offered seven figures to go play college football. Imagine a world where you go to NC State, you're guaranteed at least $25,000 a year as long as you're on scholarship in NIL deals, at least. Imagine that world. I mean, like, a game changer, right? I mean,
Hold on,
totally
It-
different world.
Leighton. Before you get there, my
Yeah.
man Andre's got a car too at this point. Like
Yeah.
he's like, you know, I mean, we're giving cars away. Like,
yeah.
it's like Oprah.
Oh
So
my gosh. I couldn't even imagine like as a as I look at let me just speak as I look at it, it would have the financial responsibility of receiving that much money and starting that whole, you know, where to save and all that stuff, that would have been awesome.
yeah.
It'd have probably been a better burden on, families. And,
Mhm.
I see, that, paying some of the kids the way they're paying them because of their likeness is awesome. But I also see where it can get a little out of hand where you have all that money and you're just like, oh, I'm this. I would have probably been a little cocky. I'm not gonna lie. I would have probably been a little cocky
I
in
mean, that's real
college.
talk. That's real talk.
Yeah, it's like I'd have been a cocky, like, oh, I got it. Like, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a little cockiness going on. But
Yeah.
I'm glad they're getting it. I am happy for them. I just hope, again, like the responsibility of having that much money at that age, at that young
That's a good
age.
point.
It's just that I would want, they should have some type of policy with I don't know. Then that's a gray area too, because then you have to get financial advisors or just be smarter with your money. It's a gray area, but I'm glad, I'm happy for the kids. I don't want to sound like I'm not, but
Mhm.
also the responsibility and accountability. I just want to know, make sure that's there, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. Like I so wish I would have did it. It would have been a car. It'd have been, definitely like. I think I saw something. Someone invited me to do, like, I think it's
Mhm.
Savage Wolves. They doing
Mhm.
that. That's
Yep.
also like, I think the players are running that, right, and setting up that foundation. So it's also making them more business savvy, so
Savvy.
where they,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Mhm.
where they know how to capitalize off of their name and how to, structure it to where, it's almost starting, because you're starting your business there. In the NFL,
Mhm.
you're your business, you're your own business, you're your
Right.
name, like an image, but it's giving you a say so now while you're still developing, and that's
Mhm.
awesome. That to develop as you're getting money is just, it make it process, leads you better to how to be a better person with money.
Yeah. Well, but this kind of like bridges the gap between what we started talking about at the beginning of our interview compared to this now, which is that, like, your kid is, Sebastian is 12 years old. Am I correct?
Right,
12
right,
years old. So, I mean, imagine like now these Pop Warner games, these 12-year-old kids, I'm telling these kids, hey, within 5 years, you might start getting offers for 7 figures to go to colleges to play. And
now.
like, and maybe even now, exactly. And so that's what I'm saying is like now it's like, and I'm like, I don't like that because again, I mean, like,
Yeah,
you're like these is 12-year-old kids, man. Like,
right,
like, and you're asking them to make life-changing decisions, life-changing,
right,
like will completely change their lives at 12 years
Yeah.
old.
I'm not mad at it though. They just need to be smart about it and have some um and I hate the word legislation because we got enough stupid laws on the books. But if we do this smartly, we really need to protect these kids because there's a lot of people out there with bad intentions that can take advantage of them, and they they see dollar signs, but they don't see all the things behind it. And I
right,
think that's where, like Andre, you're talking about the education portion of it that
right.
needs to kind of happen.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's where that. I mean, I think, like, what North Carolina just cleared something where they allow NIL deals in high
high
school.
school.
So it's. I hope it doesn't spiral out of control, because then you got some kids that, only worry about what they're doing on social media,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So that's a form of marketing. I get it. Now I have to teach these kids, like, where telling the kids, like, watch what you're posting.
Hmm.
When I was
Oh yeah,
12, I didn't have that. So I was out there just playing ball, waiting till the street lights come on, and I happened to be home. That was it.
yeah,
So now they have to worry about, they're getting so much information at a young age now, especially, tablets, all that stuff, to like a lot. I mean, I kind of like peel it back, set time limits on his phone and stuff like that.
Yep.
But they that access is crazy, and then everyone thinks that they're, what they see at Tyreek Hill's doing, and, oh, he's doing this footwork thing or something like that. But he's also not showing you what else he's doing, the extra work that he's doing, and you're thinking you're going to get, oh, just because I got these many likes on this video that I did, that you're going to get the whole world and have like a million followers and stuff like that. It's just that
Yeah.
access to some of the kids at the young age is crazy,
yeah.
but that's the world we live in now. So we
That's
just
right.
hope to contain it, and hopefully my boy becomes, understands it, and I slowly feeding that into him, so where he doesn't, I don't have to deal with a cocky young man.
Well,
I'd rather have confidence over cockiness.
That's
But
right.
so he, it's there. A parent in this age, it's going to happen. We got to adjust to the
mhm.
times, and we got to go from there.
Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flightland's Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need. Offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flightland's Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flightlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flatlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. Well, especially in today's day and age, like two things also which I want to kind of connect is, it was with NIL, with conference realignments. Like there's no doubt. I would make an argument that there's more programs that want to win more than there ever has been in college sports. I mean, like everybody is trying to find the extra money, trying to get that conference championship, trying to make it to the college ball playoffs and all that. And so there's a lot of pressure, from fans and from alumni and boosters to win. But also on the other side, with the fact that we have more access to recruits than we ever have, bar none,
Right.
that in today's day and age, like if you're a top 100 recruit, I mean, you're going to have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of comments from and things from fans and boosters and things like that, saying good, saying bad, saying ugly, saying all kinds of stuff. Like that's the thing that kind of is sad in a way, is that, again, I mean, like like on top of just the pressure of finances, because being that there's a lot of kids, that are recruits that are trying to make it for their families and things like that, trying to do the best thing they can for their families. And so sometimes you have a little bit of a blind eye to that, but also too, you want a little bit for yourself as well. And so like, kind of talk to me a little bit about, I mean, again, like back in your day, like there wasn't really like the fan interaction, like there wasn't anything like it is now. And I mean, so
No.
I mean, to me, it's just
I feel like it was better
it's a
though.
reminder. Well,
It
it's
was
better, but that's why for me, I really try and push the fans. Be like, at the end of the day, if a kid decides to not choose NC State, we can't go trash them, but at the end of the
right.
day, all they're trying to do is what they think is best for them and their family, and but things
Right.
might change.
Right. I mean, but back in the day, right? It was if people were commenting on I don't know if y'all remember this. Remember NC Preps?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
they had the comment board. That was you had to go find what people were
Yep.
talking to you
Yep.
about. But
Mhm.
now the accessibility, like you said, they can find you and be like, "Oh, you played like trash this and the third, or you didn't come to state. You're trash," or stuff like that.
They
Mhm.
can slide into your DMs,
They
right?
can slide in your DMs and
Mhm.
be like, "Oh, he's really talking to me." I'm sick. I'm 18, 19-year old, and this 45-year-old man is talking trash on me. Like, what? I'm still a kid. Like, what are you talking about?
First
Yep.
of all,
So,
those 45-year-old needs to go find a life.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
right.
Like,
Like I'm a kid. Like, what's going on? But yeah, that like you said, the whole accessibility is just crazy, and the more avenues to get to a kid is just that's what I'm trying to protect. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect that from him because he is blinded like right now.
right.
I'm not gonna lie, he's a football player. He
Yeah.
grew up in it. It's his thing. I mean, yeah, I'm telling him, I don't care if you play football, you don't play football. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter as long as my
Live your best
ceiling.
life.
Yeah, my ceiling is your floor. So I
Yeah.
got here. You can go wherever you want to go. If it's not sports, it doesn't matter to me. So
Exactly.
I'm just trying to just protect him in that. But he's so wrapped up in it, man. He's a stud. So we're
Well,
gonna
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of mentioned it, like, and I kind of mentioned it earlier. Everyone loves that attention, right?
right,
Like, they love being like recognized as a group, as a really good whatever they are. Like, if it's an
right,
IT technician, if it's a football player, whatever, everyone enjoys that. But it also comes with the negative, and you have to, kind of teach them, hey, it's okay. People are gonna hate. The problem with haters is they're gonna hate.
right,
So that you gotta,
Mhm.
just take them under your wing and teach them right, which sounds like you're doing all the right things,
right,
obviously.
right.
Love it.
That's all I can think. I hope so.
Yeah. So kind of talk to me a little bit. I want to, just kind of unwrap one more thing, and then I want to kind of move into a fun little side thing here. But you kind of talked about, how spoiled, how good the players got in today's day and age. And so first of all, I mean, have you, been through the Murphy Center, recently at all? Like seen any of the upgrades and, the training center and all that, the locker room? Like, have you seen any of
Yeah,
that?
I mean, the last time it was last season. I
Okay,
was
cool.
there. So yeah, like
Okay.
I go to games. Like
Right.
I my son loves it. He loves it when he can. Well, he's too young to stand on the field. We stay on the field until we get kicked off. So that's the
Nice.
rule. You got to be like 16 to stay on the field. Like so, that's the
Ah,
rule.
okay.
Um, But yeah, he walks through it. You know, he's. We were there when they released that they was going to make the TV bigger, and then the lights went
Mhm.
crazy, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he's kind of wrapped up in it.
That's
So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Every Saturday is like, now after our football game, it's like, are we going to the game? He's like, I don't need to watch. I'm like, yo, you just played in a football game and you want to go here with your pets. Well, I don't care. I'm like, let we go home first. I want to be there when the players are coming out. Okay, you still need to
Yeah.
wash. I'm not going to
Yeah.
sit here and have you smelling like must.
Oh,
Because he's
that's
at that age
awesome.
where he's musty, right? So he's like, and he
Sure.
doesn't understand that it's must.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yeah, we're rushing from the game straight to the other game. So our falls are football field, you know what I'm saying? So it's from
Mhm.
Saturday all day until Sunday, sitting on the couch watching football. So I see
Yeah.
why I probably brainwashed them.
You
And
created a monster, is what you did, Andre.
that's what I did. He's brainwashed. So that's how it's all. So
So do you follow it all? I'm sure being a running back again, I always say that, if you are certain, in the certain area, you focus usually on that specific area. So, obviously coming into the season, you have Jordan Houston, Michael Allen specifically, the two, main running backs heading into this next season. Do you focus predominantly on, either of those guys, that you can kind of give us your thoughts on either of them?
yeah, Allen, for sure, Greenville kid. So I,
Yeah.
told you I'd reached out to him.
Yeah.
They big, I mean, fast guy, hit in between the time. Jordan Houston, I love the shiftiness in him. More of a in between the tackles guy, but strong lower body, and that's what I like
Mhm.
that. So those are the
Mhm.
two that I've seen. I haven't watched this spring, so I don't know about the young guys.
Yeah.
Um, I normally try to look into it and
Yeah.
read. I read what they're talking about and see who's going to pop, and then I'll go
Yeah.
do my evaluation. Especially if it's a younger guy coming in, I'll be like,
Nice.
okay, let me go look at his high school tape, and I'll just be on Hulu looking at him. We're like, okay, let's see how that's going to transfer to this spread when we're out the gun, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm still a student of the game, and I still respect running backs because that's where I played, that's where I look, that's where I kind of see. I like to compare like running backs and see, oh, that's his trajectory of how he's going to be, and see if I'm
Yeah.
kind of right or whatnot. So scouting
Yeah.
almost, but
Yeah.
yeah, those two guys I pay attention to. Um, yeah, man, I'm just a student
Cool.
of the game. I
I
like
love
it.
it.
That's why I end up coaching, and I just love being around it.
So the last thing, and then I know we'll wrap it up. Here is so how much of a NC State football historian from a running backs perspective would you say you are? Like, do you know much of the former running backs in NC State history?
Are you asking me, do I know who are the
Like,
guys that's
like Dick
above me?
Christie, like Dick Christie,
Dick
Ted
Christie,
Brown, all
Ted
those guys.
Brown, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ray, was it Ray Robertson,
Ray Robinson. Yep.
T.A.
Yep.
McLennan,
Yep.
Okay.
uh,
All right.
I see
All
where you're
right.
going
Jaden
with this.
Samuel? I can go. I can go.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. So last year,
Mm.
we did this thing where we came out with our top 5 for every position group. And so I wanted to share with you our top 5 running backs list and see what your thoughts are. And see if, you'd add anybody in, move anybody up or down. Are you down for that?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Let's do it. All right. So first and foremost, number 1 overall, Andre Brown. No.
No, I was
What?
like, nah.
No. No. Again, like, luckily enough, when you make top 5 lists, sometimes it's stressful. But number 1 running back all time, Ted Brown. That's easy. Just go ahead and
Lock.
put that down. Locked
Lock.
and
That's a
loaded.
lot. That's a
Yep.
Ted
lot.
Brown. Nothing really else to say there. Number 2, Joe McIntosh. I don't know if that's a name too
I
much.
is that
That's old school.
Old school. Ranks second all-time in state in career
Yeah.
rushing yards. He's the only player besides Ted Brown to rush for over 1,000 yards twice. First team All-ACC honors twice. Freshman of the year ACC. Just again,
was that
it's
before Ted? He was before
Yes.
Ted. Yeah. Okay.
correct. Just
All right. All
no,
right.
Yeah. Like
no,
late.
no, he
No,
was
wait,
after.
no.
He was after.
He
He
was
Yeah.
was
after
19.
He
Ted.
was 79, wasn't he?
81 to 84.
Okay, 81. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ted Brown was 75 to 78.
Okay. All right.
Don't
I
don't know
don't
much
know
about
that
him.
one.
All right, cool. All right, now next one, Willie Burden,
Willie
71 to
Burden.
73. Willie Burden, won AC Player of the Year in 73.
No. Okay.
Not much about him. Okay.
No.
All right, but now you'll know these guys. Dick
Yep.
Christie. You know
Yep.
Dick Christie.
Yep.
Again, one ACC Player of the Year, one of only 2 running backs in school history to do it. First team All-American, one of only 2 running backs to do it. So, I mean, I think for me, between Dick Christie, Burden, and McIntosh, you could move those pieces around. I think there's a case for Dick Christie being even number 2, being that he was one of the only 2 running backs in NC State history to be a first team All-American. But, you know, I mean, that's kind of my thoughts there. Is I mean, I like 2 through 4 was very tough between Willie Burden, Joe McIntosh, and Dick Christie.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I give you that. I mean, because now I've got to do some more research because I didn't do the 70s era.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got to go check out Joe McIntosh, Willie Burden, man.
Yeah.
2 studs for sure.
And for you, like looking at all your stats, I mean, you're top roughly 8 in everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular stat that you're proud of that you accomplished at state? Just out of curiosity.
How look,
like a number, like touchdowns, like receiving yards, rushing yards, or anything?
Yeah, I see my rushing yards. I knew, like you said, I still to get more meat on the bone. I still felt I left a lot of stuff on the table.
Well, yeah, that one year you only played 8 games, so I mean, if you play a full season, you're probably going to get another 400 or 500 yards, and that bumps you up probably to I think like 6 or 7. Like you were real close to like you guys like 7 through 9 are really bunched tight for everything. But
so I mean, but top 5, y'all not gonna put Naheem up there?
See, okay. See, at our 5 we had Matt Days. 5 we had Matt Days.
Matt was toting that thing too.
Yeah.
He was a bell cow.
4th all-time in career rushing yards, 2,856. Top 3, ranked 3rd in school history with 40 total touchdowns, 34 career rushing touchdowns. I mean, I would say Matt Days and Naeem Hines are easily in the honorable mentions.
I put
5.
Yeah, I put Matt. Matt is it because I had a class with Matt when I returned. So yeah, I put Matt. I put Matt in my top 5. Matt's in my top 5.
All right.
Here's my top 5.
Honorable mention.
Here's my top 5. We got Doug, Tim. I put Matt up there. I gotta read something on. Hold on, Doug, Tim, Matt. The stats I know, but just off I was a fan of Ray Robinson. I don't.
Ray was good.
Ray, I just remember the spin because he was like so.
He was elusive.
Yeah, he was elusive. And then I got put Naeem up there. Okay. So I took out your 2. I took out the 2 I don't know. That was it.
Joe
I took the 2
out
I don't know, and I put in my younger lads. That I like kind of love.
Well, do us a favor, and then when you can, do a little bit of research on Joe McIntosh and Willie Burden, and I would be very interested if you wanted to direct message us your top 5 and see if Willie Burden and Joe McIntosh would get into that top 5. I'd be very interested to see after you learn a little bit more about them what your top 5 would be.
Yeah, I gotta look at the film, man.
All right,
I gotta look at the film. I gotta look at the film. I'm gonna do that. That's my homework for this weekend, guys. That's it.
All right, sweetness. All right, Andre. Well, first of all, thank you so much again for joining us, man. This has been an awesome interview. Great time for sure. I know, like we said in the first part, for any NC State fan who wants to stay in touch with Andre, make sure to give him a follow on Twitter or at X at Dre DRE Brown 35 DRE Brown 35. Make sure to go give him a follow there. But Andre, thank you so much again. Really appreciate your time, and again, hopefully we can run into you into some more NC State games here this season. Got a great home schedule for you to come to.
Right, I'll be there at I'm thinking I'm going to UConn game, and then I'll be at the
UConn
game. Yeah, I want to go up there. I've never been to a away game as a fan.
All right,
we're going to be there.
We're going to be there, so you're going to come find us, and you can come tailgate with us.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm for sure going, so
okay,
I will be there. I got one question for y'all.
Okay.
The Block S or the Tuffy mascot on the helmet?
Go ahead, Leighton. You can go first.
For me, so I'll tell you a quick story here, Andre, and I think that should kind of explain the reasoning for me. So, I had the lucky opportunity to go to the NC State College World Series in 2021 when we went to Omaha, and I remember we were standing in front of the statue. Me and a buddy of mine were about to take a picture of it, and all of a sudden I heard somebody behind me go, "Go Cardinals!" And we like turned around like what? And they were like, "We're like, you're Stanford, right?" And we're like. And so literally, so that was, and again, that happens all the time. Debbie Al says it all the time, being like Stanford, Block S
Syracuse
versus NC State,
sometimes.
Block S, it gets mixed up all the time. So
Right.
Tuffy is just unique. Like there's no mismatching the Tuffy.
Oh,
But
I lost him.
I mean, again, the Block S is like totally it's clean. That is NC State. Like that has so much history behind it. It's tough to kind of leave it behind. But Greg, thoughts?
Yep, same thing. I've gotten when I wear my state Block S, it's like go Stanford or Syracuse. I'm like, no, there's an N and a C there. Like, are you dumb? Like,
Right.
Come
so
on.
for me, it's Tuffy too. For me,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Off of that, just because of that, I am full Tuffy now.
All right,
let's go.
Let's go.
Full Tuffy now.
Let's go, baby.
That is
all right.
I got the same thing because I was a Block S guy. I got the same thing, and now I was like, oh, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tuffy.
Yeah.
All right.
No, all right. Sweet. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, forget the interview. We switched over Andre Brown to full-time Tuffy. Let's go.
Full Tuffy.
Mission
So
accomplished.
You need to go to Red and White, get you some new Tuffy gear. Then
That's what I'm doing. That's what I have to do.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us. If you enjoyed this content, again, we have a ton of content coming up here for the rest of this month. So make sure you hit that free subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever we release any new NC State content. And also, too, if you enjoyed this conversation with Andre Brown, hit that like button and give us a follow at Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But with that being said, we'll see y'all soon, and go Pack, y'all.
Go Pack.